Lucille Cummings was born in 1908 in Falls Above, Kentucky, to a family of farmers. She and her twin brother were the second and third children of 8. She sang, they were Baptist, and she sang in the choir her whole life and developed a love of music, just like Dr. Zimmerman had. Her escape from rural poverty was her decision to become a nurse, and she did attend the Owensboro County Hospital, where she did become a nurse. Somehow she worked her way up to the New Hampshire State Hospital, and in 1932, Dr. Zimmerman and she met. Dr. Zimmerman went on to the University of Pennsylvania, to the Graduate School of Medicine, where he received his degree in neurology, which at that time was the hardest degree for a doctor to attain. In 1949, they decided they wanted a house, like I said, built that would be an integral way of their personal way of living. So they reached out to the local architects. They didn't really know what the Zimmermans wanted. They sent them to the library, look in the magazines. If you see something, come back. We'll see if we can help you. In fact, it was at the Manchester Public Library. They came across the Kahn lectures that Mr. White had given at Princeton University in 1930, discussing his philosophy of organic architecture. They were immediately converted to his philosophy and believed he was the only one that could design a house for them. Now,
that's Samara.
Shut up.
Is that somebody that's supposed to be on the tour?
Yeah.
Is that really her?
It looks like her.
It's not her. No way.
Somebody take a picture quick.
Oh, wait,
that's
that's
too
not
funny.
Samara.
So ask her if she was at the 7-Eleven getting gas this afternoon. Tell her we're sorry we missed her.
Sam, you gotta beep the horn on that.
I almost asked him to, and then we all could have waved to her. So, where was I now? I'm sorry?
The lectures?
Oh, yes. I should have mentioned, too, that they were actually married in Philadelphia in 1935. So, Dr. Khalil, who was, did I mention Dr. Khalil? I'm sorry, I'm off my game here.
Yeah,
okay.
You employed Dr.
So,
Zimmerman, right?
they wrote a letter to Mr. White because normally he would not design a house on less than an acre of land, and this is 2 lots, but it's only 3/4 of an acre. They wrote him a letter. They had 3 ideas in this letter. The first idea, they did not want to add another antique to the city's architecture. The second idea, they did want their home to be a personal, integral way of their life, living outdoors and having that quality of privacy. They also did not want a coldly efficient building. But the third idea that they had, most importantly, it's why we're here today, they wanted their home to have a positive educational role in the community here. Mr. White agreed to design the house for them in 1950. Mr. White always sent an apprentice from Taliesin to oversee the construction. That apprentice was John Geiger. He lived with the Zimmermans for 11 months, room and board free. He was paid $50 a week. And through a lot of his design solutions, he met the client's needs. And we definitely have a highly successful collaboration between the architect, the apprentice, and the clients. Notice here as we're coming into the driveway, he compresses you with the landscape, and then he opens you up to this nice little courtyard. So even as you're entering the site, he is compressing and now releasing you. Please feel free to leave any of your bags, heavy bags or anything here on our secured van. We want you to stop and stand back and take a wonderful look at this house. We did tell you can take exterior photos, no interior photos, please. What do you think of the house now that you're standing here in front of it?
What's the roofing material?
That is clay tile.
Very short.
Very short, low to the land, would you say? Very horizontal.
Yeah, it's uncomfortable.
I'm sorry?
It like feels uncomfortable, feels oppressive.
Yep, that compression, doesn't he? He compresses you now. What else do you notice about the front of the house?
The fireplace is on.
The chimney, you see?
Yeah.
It's very low, isn't it? To the roof line. Mm-hmm.
The windows, yeah. The windows
Yes,
have a,
this band of ribbon windows.
I like the bricks.
Mm-hmm. These are custom-made bricks. The neighbors were quite confused when the house was being built. They actually called it a chicken coop. They did not like the look of this house. It looks almost fortified from the front. These windows have been called portholes, gun holes, chicken coop holes. Notice how low this house is to the land. Mr. White was heavily influenced by Japanese architecture, and you can clearly see that in how low the house is and how horizontal it is. The unsweeping roof line helps to dramatize that horizontal look to it, and also the brick is heavily raked. The mortar is heavily raked in it, further enhancing that horizontal look to it. This rock right here, this granite rock, was here. Mr. Wright would have seen it on the topography plan. He built the house around that. That is a fulcrum for the house. The original contractor thought the rock was in the way and moved it. John Geiger had to get the contractor to move it back. It is a pivot point for the house. Notice the entrance here. This will be the first corner mitered glass window that you'll see. There were 6 of them in the house. The original design for this roof was a red clay tile roof, as you see here today, but this is not the original roof. The original roof actually failed. The museum, I'll be quick, the museum, because I'm sure you guys are cold. The museum actually replaced it. The house was bequeathed to the museum in 1988. They restored and preserved it. They did not renovate it. And they opened it to the public in 1990. In that restoration, they did decide to go back because the roof had failed and the Zimmermans had put in an asphalt roof. So they did contact the original manufacturer of the clay tile. A new mold was made. They have enough of these clay tiles now to re-roof this whole roof again. What's missing on this roof?
gutters.
Gutters. What else might be missing?
Chimney, maybe?
It's right there.
Oh.
It's a very low chimney. The vents are missing on this. The vents are actually hidden in the chimney. The chimney is so low, the original design of this roof was specified to be cedar-shaped shingles. The fire department would not allow Mr. Wright to use those. He knew the first embers out of that chimney would set the roof on fire. So that he did go to the red clay tile roof. It has been replaced. It cost the $185,000.
Were you just at the 7-Eleven?
What's late?
Were you at the 7-Eleven getting gas?
At the 7-Eleven.
We were going to
It was there! We waved!
Well, welcome. Sorry that you missed a bit of the tour at the museum.
Let's get our
Okay,
boots on.
let's go here under the carport. We'll talk while you're getting your car, your shoe covers on. Okay, you want to look for the double seam in these, otherwise you'll never get them open. See that double seam? Open it. It's almost like